this pillow. Because it's not good for my posture.
Go
If you're
on,
gonna be
Elise.
on camera, you have to sit up straight. Yeah, everybody knows. I learned it the hard way. My mom was in my DMs. If you ever looked in the comments of a Brett Kobie LinkedIn post, you'll see Zoe Kobie, but she's the kind of the biggest fan in making it awkward for people. I'll get a DM like, why is your mom doing that? Like, I don't know, she's my mom. Like her headline is retired.
Yeah,
And
she
her-
checked me out on
There you
LinkedIn the other day.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
he's got an invested mother.
Yeah, and her profile photo is like her kayaking, which is her happy place. And so she's just she's not sure what she's supposed to communicate about herself on LinkedIn. Oh, okay. Who's calling?
It's my mother.
It's your mother's calling. Okay, yeah.
Do I have to answer?
Yeah, you have to answer.
Okay.
It's sweet that you thought that I really got your mother to call you.
You literally, like when I first saw it come up, my heart stopped. I was like, oh my God, I truly believe that you would make that happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wait until the end of the show and we'll see what else happens. And if you come back. The reason why your mom called
Yes.
is that she's really curious about what you do for a living and would like you to explain it.
It's very true. She constantly tries to understand. What do I do for a living? Well, I do many things for a living. You can break it into three things though, three main headings. One is execution. So I lead a team of creative geniuses, if I may say so. They are visual geniuses, they're videographers, they're copywriters, content people. They're people who know how to tell a story, whether through words or through images or through sound, to get your message across. And I'm in charge of making sure that gets done. So that's the execution part. And then there's the inspiration part, which is where I walk around like a children's TV presenter and try to make everyone feel great about what they're doing and make people feel great about the ideas that they have. And then there's finally the ideation part, which is somebody comes to you with a message or a series of messages that they want to get out. And they say, how do we get people to listen to this? And I go, give me a second. Go away, pull together a team, do the brainstormy thing, and come back with some magically devised ideas. And that's the ideation part. So execution, inspiration, and ideation. That's what I do.
And your mom accepts this as an explanation of what you do? Okay, right. So we won't get into your mom, because she's not really, I mean, no offense to her.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. I've never met her, and she's definitely not behind the curtain. But there's the mom explanation, and there's the policy communicators explanation. So this is an audience of policy communicators. Sometimes I think the creative director thing, I took on that title because for a while I had to have different titles that were more palatable to people. I was hired at another agency as a digital strategist, which I thought was, okay, cool, I'll do that. That's what will make me money now. That's what people are talking about. But eventually I realized I was a creative director because I met one. And I'm like, oh, actually, I do what you do.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
So how did you know that you were actually meant to be a creative director?
I saw the job description and it was titled creative director. And I was like, oh, I could do that. That's what I do day to day. I just don't get paid for that. It's the stuff I do outside of the account-based work that I was doing. And then I looked into it more and I asked on the internet, like, what is a creative director? And every description that came up was like, oh, that's what I can do. It's what I do because I do theatre. I've directed theatre and doing it in Brussels where you've got a million different people from a million different places all coming together, and it's like herding cats. And that's basically what being a creative director is as well, is to bring all these things together into one place and make something cohesive. So I think the moment I realized that I could be a creative director was when I read that job description and suddenly recognized, oh, that's me. That's what I do.
So when you come in the room at we won't talk about pitches, it's different. That everybody loves us at pitches because we do show, but then they never want to see us again after we've won. And they're like, oh, well, you won the business, but also mostly it was us because we did the slide deck or whatever. And
even though it was the creative team that actually put that slide deck together for you.
Exactly, right?
But
therefore, what I've taken away, I'm playing the bad guy,
Yeah, go on.
is that you make PowerPoints.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for making the PowerPoint.
Exactly what we do.
Thank you not at all for orchestrating the theater of the pitch, which we never should have done and Bump doesn't do. Because it's horrible and, derogatory to all. Like it's a horrible smear on a creative's like psyche.
Yes.
So that when you have to
It
stand in
hurts
front
every
of
time.
when you stand in front of the people you're pitching to, and you're one of 5 agencies, already a good setup. The stats look good,
Looking good.
and then you just like just wow them,
Yeah,
just wow them. And who do they ask to wow them? Is that do they just say like everyone but the creative director should be wowing them, or do they like, Meisoon, can you tell us how this is going to go?
We get pulled in all over the place, and always often in front of clients, whether it's for new business, prospective business, or existing business, usually to explain the idea. It's one thing that I put my foot down firmly on. It didn't always happen this way, but creatives should present creative ideas. But I think creatives and creative directors and everyone in the creative space suffers in microcosm what the entire comms sector suffers from. Because if you meet most people, especially in Brussels, in the bubble, or in the institutions, everyone thinks that they could do comms if they had the time. But they're just too busy with their important policy stuff and their important, strategic development and their value proposition development and all that. Everyone thinks they could do it because it's easy. And everyone thinks they can do creative because, how could it be? To be fair to them, like comms, creative is at its heart easy. It's a skill you can learn. Some people have a talent for it, but you can train yourself to think creatively, to use certain techniques, to try and figure things out. But like any skill, it takes time to learn it. And while anyone in this room could probably do what we do, eventually we can do it a lot quicker than them. And that's why we have the job of creative director. And that's why what we do is a lot more than just making a PowerPoint pretty.
God damn it.
God damn, this is my manifesto.
A manifesto. Oh, I've never heard of one of those in the EU bubble.
No, never.
What are your 5 asks? Right? So I just made a list. Your mom's not calling again,
No.
I don't think. But I made a list of things that I've heard said to me or I've read about what we do. This, I remember getting this in my DMs because it was the pandemic and I was suggesting some kind of campaign. And someone said, what you're doing, it's nice that you get to play around with that silly stuff. Meanwhile, we are doing the real stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard something like that, but so pretend I am the person who said that.
Oh, you want me to come at you?
Yeah, come at me.
Fight you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your stuff's, silly, real,
Yeah.
right?
I appreciate that your stuff may be real, but nobody's going to hear about it unless I do my silly stuff.
Okay.
You can do the most real stuff you ever wanted to do. You can have the most important message in the world, but unless you get it to people, get people to want to listen to what it is and to look at it, it doesn't matter. You could have the cure for cancer. If you don't put it in a way that people want to listen about it, they're not going to read. They're not going to listen to it. They are not going to know about it. So go ahead, do your real stuff. Come to me when you realize nobody's listening to you.
Okay, I'm convinced that you should make me a PowerPoint slide and make it look nice. You win.
Yeah, I win. But you want to do it through PowerPoint.
Yes, I mean,
Did you hear what I just said?
Is there another way?
There are multitudes of ways. Who is your audience? Let's start with that.
My audience is policymakers.
Then in which case, the PowerPoint slide is probably the best way to go.
Okay.
Because that's the medium they understand.
Oh, right.
You got to meet your audience where they are.
Okay.
So I would say, yes, let's do you a slide. But, just for fun, just to see what happens, why don't we try a different method as well? And then looking at all your messaging, let's figure out a new way of getting your message across.
I think what you are doing as an agency involves purely soft skills, whereas policy involves hard skills, right?
Yeah, what's wrong with soft skills?
Okay.
Seriously.
Just so you know, my response, because I used to get this back in the day, it was like, your team just writes tweets, right? And my response to the policy people was, well, your team just writes emails, right? And then they were just really angry and we didn't become friends anymore. Right?
No,
So if you are, would go back, 10 years in your career. Yeah. Well, 10 years ago, did you know what a creative director was?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
No, not good.
So some people who are watching this, especially in the EU bubble, where I know a few other creative directors, but we also just kind of hide who we are slightly. So my title that I've given myself, which is my right. If you leave a bigger agency and then you join a smaller one, titles are like whatever, you know. I'm also the EVP and the SVP and the partner and senior partner and whatever,
MVP,
right?
yeah.
So MVP, yeah. I don't know. I mean, today you're kind of putting up a good fight for MVP of today.
Sure.
So some people watching this, that was my point. Some people watching this will now know what a creative director is, and they will see two senior, esteemed, gray-haired creative directors. Just me, I'm not speaking for anyone else. And they will be like, wow, that must be a possible career. What would you want them to know as they get started? And maybe think, actually, that sounds like me. How do I actually make sure that I can get paid off of this without making PowerPoints or writing tweets or whatever?
The first thing off, I would say, it doesn't matter what you're doing now. Anyone can be a creative director if you can do the things that the job entails. If we look back on my career, I started out in life sciences. I have a degree in biochemistry. I then became a journalist because stats is not my thing, and maths, and then moved into comms. So, you know, I've been in-house, I've been in agency, I've worked on the account side, and now I'm in creative. So you don't have to start off in a creative role to become a creative director. I proved that. I may be the exception that proves the rule, but it's possible. If you want to become a creative director, if it's something that interests you, ask yourself these questions. Do I find everything interesting? Like, the boring doesn't exist in our world. You can't be bored by anything, because at any moment, a client can come to you with a series of messages that they have carefully devised, you know, the hard skills.
Like writing emails, the
like
hardest
writing
skill
emails.
there is, folks.
And they will expect you to put it out. And their subject matter may not be the most traditionally exciting thing, but you can't be bored by it. You have to find something of interest in absolutely everything. So you have to be interested. You have to be interesting, I think. So read widely, take everything in, look at all forms of media, try and figure out what everyone's saying. I don't want to both sides things, but try to understand both sides of every argument. Try to understand how different forms of media work as well. Because as a creative director, you are inevitably going to be working with people who develop content, either written content or visual content. I am not a photographer, I'm not a graphic designer, I'm not an artist. My art skills are nothing. I come from the copywriting side of things. But if you understand how the visual language of, say, film works, if that's something that interests you, if you like to devour movies, if you devour books, if you read different forms of writing, and you get to learn the ins and outs of it. Basically, it's just take everything in. And that's how you become a creative director, at least from my perspective. There are other people who would tell you different. How do you think?
Before I say all this stuff, because we do a whole episode where it's just me, I would, I think with what you said, you'll get a small portion of our audience to say, okay, I've opened my career opportunities to that. It will still be 10% of this wonderful world of policy communicators. Some of them will identify as creatives. There's a reason why we didn't call this podcast Creative Policy Communications is a thing, because half of you wouldn't come, right? Because you've identified as policy communicators. So within that small group is on board with that. There's this other big group that needs to invite someone, a creative person, which is already a scary thing. So imagine, a creative director needs to come into their project or solve some problem with them, right? So why should they involve someone who has a creative set of skills, right? What's the value at a very high level of having that person at square one?
So you mentioned it already. You said problem solving, specific set of skills. We're the Liam Neeson from Taken of the comms world. We have a very specific set of skills. And as I said before, we can do it faster than you because we've trained ourselves, or we've learned through experience how to apply creative techniques. I have to upskill my team a lot of the time. I get people in and they can do one part of the creative job, and I'm teaching people how to think in different ways and how to take more off my plate so I can do things like this. So I have to teach them the skills I already know. What that's teaching me is that I do a lot of things instinctively now. Like when it comes to brainstorming, I don't really need to plan them anymore. I know what are the questions I need to ask. But when you're training somebody to do it, you realize, oh, actually, hang on, this is a technique. This is something that I've learned how to do. So let me think. What was the question? I told you I'm a chaos monkey. No, generally, what was the question?
The question was, I mean, you're answering it.
Yeah.
You're nailing it, chaos monkey and all,
Yeah,
which is
thank
exactly
you.
what we want for a show like this.
Yeah.
Can I have a hand for a chaos? Yes. I should have made you take your suit coats off. Who can have a good time with this with a coat on, right? You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
have us in the room? Got it.
Yeah.
I come back
Segued
again. I come back again.
Created some juicy social content for right there, which is out of context with the rest. Why would people actually have creative directors in the room?
Because we will solve the problem for you. Because you will bang your head against the wall and you'll do the same thing that you've always done because it's safe and you know it kind of works, or it worked last time. But the truth is the problem you're facing now is probably different. Doing the same thing again will have diminishing returns, and you need to solve the problem, so you bring in the people who can think differently. And that's who we are.
So in the first instance, you would say that creative directors are problem solvers.
Yeah.
So they're not PowerPoint makers and tweet writers?
Well, sometimes we are the problem, but we're generally problem solvers, yeah.
Do you also mean that we may be able to start at the beginning, help solve the problem explore the problem on a strategic level, and then even have the unbelievable set of skills to execute a tactic that solves the problem? So we can do more than one thing?
Yeah, it's shocking, I know. But yes, we can both walk and chew gum at the same time, hold more than 2 ideas in our head at once. Okay. It is our magic.
Is it true that as a creative director, we are actually drawn to the mundanity of what they believe is completely boring, and we're actually like, you're so completely bored by this, yet you're still doing it, and you find no joy in it. What is wrong with your life and how you're living? But we actually see something that is very specific and weird, and we thrive in the weirdness. Otherwise, we would have left this town a long time ago, right?
Time ago.
Yes.
I'd say Brussels probably attracts the most creative people in the world because they can see joy in the grey. They can see that spark of, something interesting in the policy and in the legality and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think the answer is yes to your rhetorical question.
I expected an answer, and if you hadn't, I would have been very disappointed. Honest assessment. I know that you were kind of Brussels bubble adjacent, because I had to go a little bit left of field to find her because there's just not enough of us around here.
Really not.
Honest assessment. Maybe you've paid a little bit of attention to LinkedIn to this community. Now you'll meet some people here. If you had to say today that, the question is within 5 years, will we see how many more creative directors we will see with that title on LinkedIn working in policy communications?
In 5 years?
Yeah. So imagine that today there are like less than 5, fewer than 5.
In 5 years, with the speed that the city moves, not many.
Okay.
Sorry.
10 years.
10 years, we could be edging up to, I don't know, 8.
Okay,
9.
15 years. 15 years.
15 years. We don't want to create a glut.
Right.
I mean, like, scarcity is on our side.
Yeah. You know how we know that?
Yeah.
Because we're there at the beginning, strategic
Exactly.
thinking
Always
about
thinking,
actually this is good for
Yeah,
us.
let's keep,
Supply and demand
Exactly.
affects our monthly pay. We know that. Policy communicators have realized that there aren't actually that many of them. I'll nod if you've realized that you are one of the few.
Mm-hmm.
And have you also realized, people at home, that you can use that to your advantage in the salary negotiation, right? Speaking of salary negotiations, a job calls you, like a recruiter calls you. Oh no. So say that you've passed the recruiter because the recruiter somehow gets it, unusual, and you're sitting with the hiring manager, and they're saying, we need a creative person, right? We need a senior creative person.
Exciting.
Okay, already very rare situations.
Yeah.
It's actually hypothetical. I've never seen it happen. And we need, we need by creative, we need, somebody who can do photography. We need somebody who can shoot film and edit film, and they're probably the same thing, shooting and editing, right? Also, someone who can write very well. We don't want anything that we write to have any spelling or grammar mistakes, right? But we also need that person to be able to sit in a very high level meeting and take notes. So as a senior creative, I think the salary level is insert low figure. Mm-hmm. This is the range that we had in mind.
15 years of experience,
right.
Minimum.
Senior, because we can't put a young person.
No.
Because they're already running the social media.
Right.
This is not that. This is like social media, but all the other stuff.
Everything else.
So this is the figure. Don't tell me how, just tell me exactly. Okay, I've said that.
Yeah.
Now your job is to explain in 30 minutes. You don't have 30. Imagine that in 1 minute,
Yeah.
how they have maybe kind of not understood the need that they have and not understood the depth, the breadth of experience, and then actually what they're describing.
It's not a creative director.
What is it? Yeah, so negotiate with me so that by the end of this meeting, I'm paying you what you're worth,
Yeah.
and I understand what you do.
So my first question would be, why do you need a creative director? Because all good creative conversations start with that question, why? Why are you doing this? To get down to the meat. And then hopefully you'd explain to me, well, because we need all of these things to be done. At that point, I would be able to pull out my slide deck, my posters and my video series and everything and say, listen, what you're asking for is a full creative team or a full communications team. In fact, never mind creative team. All of these things are very specific talents and skills. No one person would be able to do this for you. You are looking for, and I know you use the unicorn metaphor. You are looking for a unicorn. This person does not exist. And if they did, they would be burned out within 5 seconds with what you are requesting. So thank you for considering me for this position, but I'm afraid it's not for me.
Well, that is a fantastic answer, and I listened for at least 10% of it. And I really feel that probably what we need to do with this money is spend it on 3 junior policy people. And there are plenty of them.
Yeah.
Hello, is this the College of Europe? Can you send me some vanilla people that look the same on paper? I don't need to meet them. Right. So, deep cut. We have any alums? There's no shade, huh? Yeah. But if you pull from the same pool, you get the same thing, right? And why should there not be some module, even if it was like a lunch and learn at the College of Europe about creativity, right? Doesn't seem that hard, does it? Right? And can it not be about making PowerPoints and how to do social media? Social media, I'm saying it right here to all the cameras. Social media does not equal creative stuff. Social media is social media. Social media is just one thing.
It's a communication channel.
It's not everything.
It's a channel.
It's a channel. It's not one thing.
No.
There are other things.
Many things.
There are other things.
Lots of things.
Such as
you want to be creative and you want to teach your young people and your policy communicators to be creative because, let's face it, artificial intelligence is here. It's coming. It's coming for your job. The people who are going to survive are the people who can think differently, who are flexible mentally and can look at things from a different angle. I have no concern about my job in the future because I know that my entire life is about pivoting, about looking for the different angle, about where things can change and where I can bring in new ideas and see the world in a different way. So that's why AI, I don't perceive it as a threat. Now, globally, yes, it is a threat to what we do because we can do it faster. It's like a really dumb, fast intern. So why do we need, sorry to say this, dumb, slow interns? So it means that the younger people are going to come into our industry and they're not going to know how to do things because they're not going to be learning from the people who are using AI. So that's going to cut off a pipeline of talent coming in already. So as an industry, we're going to suffer. We're going to really struggle to find people to do the jobs that we're doing now. So why not go in it through the way of creative and understand, okay, we can teach them skills to think differently. We can teach them ways of approaching problems that the AI will not be able to do.
Cool. So in a word, one word answers only.
Just one word. Oh, God,
No. Many one words.
Okay.
Right? Creativity is not
PowerPoint. Pretty. Boring. Every day.
escalate.
Oh, God. more. Just like an improv exercise.
Yeah.
Can we turn it to is? Because I prefer positives rather than negatives.
One word. Creativity is
Exciting.
and
Energizing.
and
Inspiring.
de-escalate and
Needed.
and
Joyful.
and
Serious.
and can you make money on it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Not only you can make money for it, but the people who hire you to make money for it will make money from it.
really?
Yeah.
So you're
That's
bankable?
amazing. We're like a multiplier for money. You put creativity in the mix and it gets bigger.
Would you say that
Yeah.
there's a high return on investment when investing into creativity?
Absolutely.
And to paying people what they're worth?
Yes.
And there should be more creative jobs in Brussels?
Yes.
And it's a really good idea
Yes.
to have a show like this? And
Yes.
and you're definitely going to keep doing it?
Oh, always.
And it's totally a viable, wonderful thing that everybody should want to do?
Everyone should want to do.
But
But not too many because then I get devalued. So.
Then you get devalued. Okay. And I mean, I think everything that you're saying, like I've clocked it, I've registered it. I still think it's silly. So moving on to some hard skills. No, I don't think it's silly. I think it's a viable thing, and that is what we are trying to do here.
But you mentioned hard skills like writing an email.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use this time.
Because it is a hard skill, right?
It's it's
Keyboard
very
and
hard.
computer.
Yeah.
It's not like plumbing, which is the softest of skills, or like engineering, yeah.
Writing an email is a skill.
Yeah.
To be able to convince somebody to read that email is also a skill. I can give you an example of a campaign that won awards last year that we ran about sending an email. Now, I work in PR. Our job at its very core is to get journalists to read and write about the thing we want them to read and write about. Journalists, knowing our audience, get an insane number of emails in their inboxes. Why are they going to read mine, especially when, looking at the messaging, there wasn't actually any news in it? So we were hired by a group called HeartSafe to tell a story about how they wanted to make Belgium a heart-safe country. And what that means is that you have to be 6 minutes away from both a defibrillating machine and a trained volunteer in order to save a life. They had the statistic that 30 people a day suffer from a heart attack in Belgium and they don't make it. That can be reduced dramatically. Now, it's an interesting figure, but where's the news? How do we get a journalist to open that email? So I pulled my creative team together. We did the brainstorm and we came up with the idea of a immersive experience. So instead of sending just an email, we sent them a link to an online game based on the game GeoGuessr. If you've ever played this, you get dropped into Google Maps and you have to go and find a thing. And we put them a big 6-minute timer on the screen, and they had 6 minutes to navigate around their home city, because we tailored it to where they lived to make them feel like they were the main character of the story. And they had to navigate around and find the AED, find the defibrillator machine in the map, in Google Maps. So that's how you can go with something that's not really news, something that is just, our clients want us to get it into the papers. They want them to write about it. Get over that barrier of writing the email that's not going to be read. It's just, whatever, this is another PR email, it's another pitch email, and actually put the journalist into the story so that they want to write about what you have. And we got the coverage we wanted. We seeded that story and people wrote about it. So the client walks away super happy.
So then one might say to the person who told me, you just write tweets. And then I responded, you just write emails. But when I write an email as a creative director, this is how I fucking write an email.
This is how you write an email.
This is how you don't have to say that. This is how Meisoon and her team fucking write an email. Try to top that. So thanks, Meisoon.
My pleasure.
That was really cool. And I certainly wouldn't ask an audience for applause, but if they wanted to do it, they could totally do it if they were grateful.